Welcome to Let's Play Touhou 10, Mountain of Faith. I believe I said in one of my playlist descriptions that Touhou was, well, it's ostensibly a game about dodging bullets. It's secretly a game about learning to bomb, so you don't really have to dodge anything, and that's never more true than in this game. You can pretty much bomb your way through this whole thing if you want. And I'm going to play on normal again. It's what I've been playing at. It's what if you're going to start playing the game, you're probably going to play on, so why not? And we have two characters this time. We've got Reimu and Marisa. No Sakuya, no third character. But each of these two has 3 shot types. You've got the homing shot type, which is pretty good. It's my favorite shot type in this game. By far the one I'm best with. Then you've got her typical persuasion needle type shot. It's called ceiling needle in this game, I guess. And the ceiling type yokai buster. I don't remember what that is, so sorry about that. And Marisa, the spread star, trace and hold formation. You have options that trail around behind you and basically trace your movements. So if you move like from left to right or right to left, they'll spread out along to your side and you get a little more range with your shots. Or if you move up and down or just like circle around in a tight area, then your shots will all bunch up and shoot straight forward, and you can get more power for boss fights and stuff. So you get a little bit of versatility with that one. Yeah, so piercing type, illusion laser, typical Marisa shot type. I think it's in a lot of the games. Decent straightforward shot type. Not a ton of range, but not purely straightforward focus. Yeah, it's standard stuff. And then Marisa C, which is what I'm going to be using, even though, as I said, I'm better with Reimu in this game, as with most games. But I do want to play as Marisa because, for one, she's actually my favorite of the main characters. I'm not as good with her, but as a character, I really like her. And also because I've played with Sakuya and Reimu, or Reimu's team already in Imperishable Night and Perfect Cherry Blossom. I haven't played Marisa yet, so I'm gonna do that. So there's 2 things that are really important to know about this game when you play it. One is the scoring system, and one is the power and bomb system. You see that there are no bomb items, and also that the power no longer goes to 128, it just goes 0 to 5. So what that does is, on the old system, your power would increase every 8 power items you got. And in this one, it increases every time your power goes up by 1. Like a full 1. So there's no difference between like 1 and 1.9, but there is between 1.9 and 2. And what those numbers represent is the number of options you have, which are these things that are following Marisa around right now. And every time, this is where bombs come into. Every time you bomb, you lose 1 power. Like, see, my power just dropped from 5 to 4. That's how bombs in this game work. As long as you have at least 1 power, you can bomb. And your power stops increasing at 4. So once you're at 5, your power will not go down when you bomb. It's just a free bomb once you get to 5 power, basically. But we are to the boss. With Marisa C, her options follow you around unless you focus. When you focus, they stay put. And so what you want to do with boss fights is plant them right in front of the boss and leave him there at the start of the fight, and it makes things a lot easier. So this is Minoriko Aki. She is a goddess, like a harvest goddess, I believe. And her her sister, Shizuha, was the mid-boss. She's also a goddess. And even though they're goddesses, they're not particularly strong. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with Marisa's story in this game, actually, because I don't play Marisa that much, and I usually skip through the dialogue, but you can hopefully read as we go along. So the basic idea of this game is there's a mountain in Tokyo where a number of yokai and gods and goddesses live, and there's a disturbance at the top of the mountain, and we are going to investigate. And of course, these two goddesses, the Aki sisters, have nothing to do with the incident, but we have to fight them anyway because that's how Touhou works. You don't really meet anyone who has anything to do with the plot directly until like 4 or 5 stages into the game, usually, sometimes 3. But definitely not stage 1, so yeah. Alright, and the other thing I wanted to go over was the scoring system. If you'll see in the bottom left, there's a number. It's a little over 100,000 right now. And that's your faith meter. And what that does is it determines the value of those blue point items. The higher your faith value, the more points you get every time you collect a blue point item. And the way you increase it is primarily by collecting those green star items. And the value actually goes down constantly on its own. Every time that white bar beneath the numbers gets empty, your faith starts dropping. So you want to keep that bar from draining. And the way you do that is by either defeating enemies or collecting items. And collecting items is by far the most effective way to do it. And so what you really want to do is chain your item collection as much as you can. And whoa, how did I not get hit there? I did something really dumb. Yeah, so if you see every time I collect an item, that gauge fills back up. And you really want to keep doing that constantly to keep your faith meter up. And it's the reason it's so important to learn that is lives in this game are based on score, and you have to get to, I believe, 150 million to get the final point life. And it's when you're starting out, it's pretty hard to do that unless you know how to basically how to work the scoring system. And so if you're like constantly going up and going to the point of collection to auto collect items, and you're gonna have big gaps between collecting each item, or you'll collect them all at once and have a big gap before you collect more. Your faith's gonna go way down, and you're gonna have trouble hitting the score thresholds. So just learn how to. You don't have to be crazy about it, but learn how to kind of chain your item collection a little bit, and you should be fine. So this is the stage 2 boss. Her name is Hina. She likes to spin around, and the fandom likes to kind of go crazy with that in their portrayals of her. She's, I think, like a cursed goddess, or a cursed... I don't know if she's a goddess or a yokai, or... I think she's like a doll that gains sentience or something. I'm not sure of the specifics. I don't know that much about Hina, to be honest. This spell used to give me a lot of trouble, but don't try to stay in the center. Like, if you stay in the center, you'll get to stuff that's crossing, and it gets to be a mess. And try to go to the side where you can get a more open passage, and should be okay. Her non-spells aren't that bad. This spell is pretty simple. Even on the harder difficulties, it's not that bad. Just pretty slow stuff. Big enough openings, yeah, it's not a problem. And her last spell card. It starts off trivially easy and then gets gradually more difficult. But with Marisa C, with those options planted right in front of her, you can take her down really before it gets to be too much of an issue. So yeah, that's stage 2, and we'll continue on up the mountain. And apparently Marisa has been memorizing pi. Interesting.